Bonjour à toutes et à tous et bienvenue sur votre émission hebdomadaire ici 360 où nous faisons le tour de tout ce qui concerne l'Afrique et sa diaspora. Parmi les nombreux pays africains, nous avons un pays qui se démarque par sa musique amapiano, l'Afrique du Sud. Et aujourd'hui, mon invité est de ce pays-là. Gugu, Makhari, how are you?
Bonjour, madame.
Bonjour.
Ça va?
You speak in French now.
Je parlais français.
Really? Do you want to do it in French or?
Well, I wish I could, but je suis de Afrique du Sud and we don't speak French and
Only
so
English and Zulu. You Zulu,
I'm
right?
Zulu, but I speak all our 11 languages.
Really? Which
Yeah.
are? What are the 11 languages?
So we have Afrikaans. So you know, South Africans were colonized by Dutch, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So we learned, like, we have our broken Dutch, which is called Afrikaans.
Okay.
And I went to an African school. Also, I come from. I'm sure you've heard people call themselves coloureds in my country.
Yep.
So part of my family, they're coloureds.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
so
what the singer Tyler calls
yes,
herself, right?
that's what Tyler calls herself. Yes. Oh,
Okay.
that's who she is.
Okay.
So yeah, that's where I come from as well. Like, so my mom used to have Swati. So we have a history, like the colored family is a history of our great-great-great-grandmother who was white in my family.
Your
you know.
great-grandmother was white?
Yeah, great-great-grandmother, yeah.
She was Dutch?
white. Yeah, I think she was Dutch. Actually, I never got to learn where she really was from, but most definitely, like, probably Dutch, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. So I also, like, speak a little bit of Chivenda. So that's the language that my ex-husband spoke. I was married to him for 5 years. So he spoke Chivenda. That's what my son is, half Zulu and half Chivenda.
Chivenda.
Yeah, Venda,
Okay.
yes, exactly. And my dad, Zulu, my mom, Swati. And I have cousins that are Xhosa. I have friends that are Xhosa. I mean, a lot of my friends are Xhosa, yeah.
How many tribes are there in South Africa?
11 tribes.
11 tribes
Yeah.
altogether?
Yeah, all
Okay.
together.
And
yes.
how big is the population again?
It should be about
Around
62 million, if I'm not mistaken.
62 million. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure, but I think it should be around there. Yeah, to be honest, I don't understand why I can't get it
You
right
forgot.
now. But yeah, it's
Your
just a
own
lot going
country.
on. Yes, it's my own country that I haven't stayed at for like 7 years now.
Oh,
You know, I
wow.
barely know what's even happening in my country, to be honest, right now, because I'm so absorbed in getting my life together in America. You know what I mean? I literally just decided to just focus on what I'm doing here. I cannot be split in two different
Yeah,
worlds.
it's
There
gonna
was
be
a
too
time
much.
when I could tell you what's happening in my country, right, like currently, and tell you like what's happening where I was, but you can't live that way. Like, I felt like I'm living two lives.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you want to focus more and
pretty much. And it's human nature. It's really my age now to really be forgetting things. I forget things that I've just said 5 minutes ago. Believe me, I'm in my perimenopause.
do you have Alzheimer or dementia or something
No,
like
it's perimenopause syndrome. You know, that you have where you really forget things. I used to laugh at my mom when she was around my age. I'd be like, I just told this woman this and she forgot like 2 minutes after. Like, what is it? Now I'm starting to see or feel the effects.
The effects
Yeah,
now?
exactly.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Right.
How was it growing up in South Africa and why did you decide to come to the US?
Oh, well, unlike most people, what brought me here was tragedy in my case.
Tragedy?
Yeah, like, in a way, you know. Yeah. Growing up in South Africa was exciting. I went through a lot growing up. I grew up in a family of, there was 6 of us, and including my stepdad and my mom. I was very close to my stepdad, and a lot happened later when I was doing my final year of high school, where my mom and my dad saw it fit to get me married instead of taking me to school. My dad like refused to take me to school. He was like, I'm not taking a girl child to school. My mom, on the other hand, she didn't have the money or the means to do that, you know. I was literally like helping out at home, selling food at school for me to pay for my fees and to help out. So when I finished high school, I really had dreams to go to UCT, the University of Cape Town.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I wanted to study.
Cape Town is so pretty.
It's beautiful. Oh my God, it's so breathtaking. I mean, it's one of the 7 wonders in the world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really wanted to really go to University of Cape Town to study Bachelor's of Arts. Oh, my dreams were shattered. You know, when I told my dad, I told he refused to take me to school. My mom thought, oh, it would be a good idea for them to marry me to my stepdad's cousin.
What?
Yeah.
But you talking about arrangement marriage or?
Yeah, they literally arranged that. I remember so vividly one day I'm coming back from school, my mom just sat me down and said, you know, you've grown now, you can make your own decisions. I think it's okay if you go get married to your stepdad's cousin. You know,
really?
Your uncle. Yeah, my uncle. That was my uncle.
Is it a thing in South Africa, or is it was just in your family?
Not necessarily, but it's a thing with the parents seeing profit when it comes to their daughters.
Okay.
I think I've realized that, you know, it starts when you start dating and you're going out, maybe a boy is taking you out on a date, and somehow there's expectations about, like, you should bring something back home. You know what I mean? So that mentality alone, it creates some expectations, or let me just put it this way, entitlement. Yeah, so most girls, they grow up with so much expectations and entitlement as a result. You know what I mean? So my mom thought it was fit for me to just go get married at 18 to a man who was probably over 20 years older than me, just because she wanted to profit from that.
With the dowry, the bride price, and...
Well, he was going to pay all of that if I had continued. But when I stayed with him, which I was forced to go live with him, I was drinking so much because I was trying to avoid everything that was happening. Yes, of course, you know. I was trying to distract from the reality of things. And I was drinking so much. Imagine being drunk at 18 years. And during the time I was doing all that, my stepdad tried to rape me in the interim.
Your stepdad tried to rape you?
The person who raised me, I mean, my stepdad raised me. Like, she actually met my mom when my mom was probably when I was probably 3 months old.
Wow.
You know,
so he saw you growing up, basically.
Of course, he raised me. I stayed with him and my mom.
And he tried to rape you?
Yeah, when I was 18 years. You know, you have no idea. I still haven't gotten over that yet. You know, it's been very traumatic. He died. I felt like I didn't get closure. But I feel like closure is what you give yourself by closing that chapter. You allow yourself to close a certain chapter and accept things for what they are. That's
Absolutely.
closure.
Yeah.
So I think I'm only now accepting that it is what it was. It wouldn't have changed anything if he explained why he tried to do what he did. He probably would have hurt me even more. So it's okay now, you know. Yeah. So it hurts because it caused a divide between my siblings. You know, like, it's hard for me to talk about the topic without them feeling affected. Offended, because that's their dad, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
And how did you move on from that chapter?
Well, I guess because of the circumstances, I lived in a township with my siblings, and let me tell you something, my biggest dream was to get out of the township and seek for a better life. And my focus was just really on getting a better life and seeking for a better life. So I was not really focused on what was happening, like, around, like, injustice, like, you know, wise. I was just focused on moving on with my life. And yeah, from there, I was lucky to convince my mom, like, to take me to one of those short courses for computers and stuff like that. And that's what I did in the meantime, so that I can get a job, because whatever job that I applied for, they needed experience. And I didn't have much experience. Though I had experience because I've worked all my life. I mean, my mom owned corner stores. We've sold food at home. We've sold pretty much everything at home. So I've been running those businesses, like, with my mom, like, at home. We were forced to do that since probably I was 11 years old. Okay. So by the time I finished high school, of course, I had so much experience that I've acquired, like customer service. I've dealt with people my whole life, you know. So, but then it was not something I was going to be able to convince professionally that, oh, I have this experience. They wouldn't take that. So what I did was to go study those short courses. so that at least I have some experience when it comes to like basic computer skills and customer service professionally, you know. So yes, I worked for banks. Yeah, I worked for really good banks in South Africa, like First National Bank. I've worked for Nedbank, you know. So that's when I met my ex-husband.
At the bank? Working at the bank?
While I was working for banks, I met him during the time.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's the one that took me to school. And how it happened, he came to me and we got to be friends prior to that. And he asked me one day, he said, you know, I like you so much. I want to have an arrangement with you, just see you maybe once a week. And I said, oh, really? And he said, in return, I'll buy you a car. I'll buy you a convertible car. I'll buy you a beautiful car. And I said, oh, how about you take me to school? And he said, really? And I said, yeah. And he said, go find out how much it is and just tell me, and then I'll pay up front. I thought he was joking. I'm telling you, at that time, I used to have a serious acne breakouts. And all I wanted to do was learn so much about skincare.
Okay.
So I went to International Academy of Health and Skincare and found out how much it was, and he paid up front, you know.
Wow.
And yeah, from there we started dating, and before I know it, we were getting married within months.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he was really serious about what he was saying.
Yeah, he was serious
about
taking
taking care of you and
yeah.
that arrangement and all this stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was serious about it.
So what happened with the one that your family was forcing you to get married to?
Oh, I ran away from.
Oh, you ran away from
after my stepdad tried to do what he
rape
did.
you?
Yeah, because it happened at the same house. So what happened was the arrangement was that I was gonna move in with the guy, my so-called uncle, stay with him, and my stepdad was supposed to also come stay with him because he had some construction businesses happening and he needed some assistance. So my stepdad was also part of the deal to move in there, you know. Yeah, I don't know why my mom thought that was a good idea, but to this day I'm still asking myself why, you know.
So then you ran away, and then you went to start working in banking.
Yes, exactly.
And then you met your ex-husband.
My ex-husband, yeah.
He put you back to school.
Yeah, it took me to school, and let me tell you something. I think by the time we were divorcing, I was 27 at the time. I went to school pretty much later, at 23 years when I started university. Yeah, it was about almost 23 years. Yeah, and by the time we were divorcing at 27, I was at a business school now because I finished up, graduated. I was going to start my own spa. But prior to me starting my own spa, I had already had my business plan. It was already looking for space for me to start my own spa. Then I decided, you know what, let me just go to a business school, you know, so I can at least learn more about business, you know. So yeah, went to a business school. Everything was fine. I think when I was doing my second year, I went there with the aim of doing my MBA. Okay. Yeah, but then during my second year, that's when we started having our own problems, maritally. So then we divorced, but you know, our African families, it was just not only the problems that we had between us, but it was also the mother-in-law,
the families,
the family. You know, it was so many people having opinions. It was a lot. And he was a little older than me as well, my ex-husband. So he was more controlling than being a partner to me, you know. So I relived that trauma of being controlled, because that's what I lived at home. Like I've been in a situation that was very hostile, where my mom was very abusive, beating us up every single day.
Beating you guys up?
Yeah.
You and your siblings?
I'm lucky I don't really even have marks. If I can tell you, if you can see my brother's eye, my brother has a marble eye because of my mom today.
Up to this day?
Yeah, you know. My mom used to beat us up with anything. That could have been on my face right now. This TV, anything, you know, that she could reach, she would beat you up with that.
Was she an alcoholic or anything?
She was not. No. My mom was not even an alcoholic at all. I learned later that she was depressed. That's the problem. And that's the thing about us as Africans. We don't address mental health issues most of the times, you know. They would always point you to another direction, like, oh, no, it's a spiritual thing, or no, well, it could be a spiritual thing, but they will always point you to traditional healers, or, you know, somewhere where it could worsen the condition, actually, most of the times. And that's exactly what happened with my mom, because my mom kept on going from this church to another church, from this traditional healer to another traditional. She became a traditional healer herself, but, you know, she could not have peace. That's the problem with her, and that's what I've learned later. Yeah. When I asked her, actually, as an adult, I asked her, did you ever love me? Because the way she treated me, it's as if she didn't even love me at all. You know.
So you weren't close to your mom. You didn't have that mommy-daughter friendship going on.
No, it's funny because we had our moments of hate and love. Yeah, we really have we had a love like hate relationship. But with most of the parents in Africa, it's a typical story of an African child that you're going to be close to your parents whether you like it or not. It's not like the children here where they can tell you that their parents, I don't want to talk to you. It's not like that with us.
Yeah,
you know.
it's not in the
especially
culture.
yeah, when I was growing up, like during my days, you wouldn't even dare say, like, talk back to your parent, you know, so there was none of that. There was no attitude, none of, like, they would not accommodate none of that attitude. Yeah, the kids today, they're different, you know, they're not like us. So whether I liked it or not, I had to be close to my mom. You know what I mean? Whether I felt like I didn't like her at that point in time, I had to be close. I still had to do what I needed to do. You're not going to believe I raised almost all my siblings pretty much. My typical day was to wake up in the morning at 3, 4 a.m., wake up, wait for the bakery, because I used to sell sandwiches at school. Make some sandwiches while I'm also cleaning up the house. And you know, you just don't clean the house inside. You have to sweep, and then you have to come with a mop. No, actually, we didn't even have mops then. You go on your knees, you know, and clean up the house and
That
still
seems
come
like
back,
a
polish the house.
Cinderella story.
Definitely,
Like,
it is exactly that. Yeah.
wow.
It was definitely that.
And all of those experiences are the reason why you decided to leave South Africa and just move to the U.S.?
No, not really. But after I had gotten married to my ex-husband, the way we divorced also was just, I can't even tell you exactly why we divorced to this day.
Wow.
Yeah. So when we divorced, he actually filed for bankruptcy, and he made sure that he left me with nothing. And during that time, he also got a very, very powerful lawyer, and I had to also get a lawyer, you know. So eventually, after our divorce, I was able to get a settlement, but it was not even much. And I had to start my life from scratch again. So I was lucky that the year after our divorce, I traveled to China. Yeah, like I traveled the whole year to different countries, but I went to China specifically for a 2 weeks holiday. You know, I didn't know anyone, where it was my first time, where I was just going to meet random people during the trip. It was going to be a group of people that I was going to be traveling with that I didn't know. It was very exciting going from Beijing to Shanghai to Suzhou to Hangzhou to, you know, to all these provinces, like flying, driving. It was just interesting. So while I was doing all of that, I was documenting some of my trips on Facebook, and people were like, hey, can you get me this product? Hey, I need this. And I'm like, why do people think I can get them products? And I think one person was like, oh, yeah, you can find this in Guangzhou. Like, you know, and I was like, I asked the people in the trip, like, do you guys know where Guangzhou is? And they're like, yeah, that's where you get all these factories and you get all these. I'm like, okay, let me find out more. So I got interested, and I was like, oh, that sounds like a business, you know? The way people are asking me, like, it was probably 20 people asking at the same time, can you get me this, can you get me that? So what happened, I got to, this was so funny, because at the end of the trip, I was so broke. I had finished up all my money.
You kept buying stuff and all.
Yeah, I kept on spending. I kept on just spending. So I had this 32-day notice account where if you take a certain amount of money, you have to wait for another 32 days to be able to access the account again. I had taken out a chunk of money. I can't remember exactly how much it was. It was probably $10,000 US, but it was just a lot of money. And that was what I was going to use for my travel, but I was just splashing, you know. So by the end of my trip, I was only left, I think, with probably 300 RMB. And then I think I took a sleep train. I remember taking a sleep train to Shenzhen. And then from there, I had to travel to Guangzhou. By the time I got to Guangzhou, I only had 100 RMB and I still had to get a hotel, I still had to eat, and my flight ticket going back to South Africa was in a week's time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's all I had. I had no one to call and be asking for anything. I decided, I believe in prayer. Oh man, I live by prayer. I'm telling you, I don't know where I would have been if it was not for prayer. Seriously, you know. So I remember going to that hotel and with no worry in my heart, but thinking about the situation. I remember saying, God, I don't know what you want me to do right now, but do something about the situation. You know, I paid for the hotel. It was 70 RMB. You have to pay up front. And I was left with 30. I took my bags to the room. And when I got there, I remember God saying to me, take a walk. Just walk. And I remember thinking, walking to where? I went to the reception and I went to ask the people. I'm like, listen, I'm new here, but I'm looking for electronics markets. Where do I get them? And they said, you need to take a taxi. I'm like, thinking I don't have money for a taxi, so please just show me which direction I have to go. And the woman was like, oh yeah, okay, this is the direction you have to go, you know. Because I was telling her, I just want to walk a little bit and I'll take a taxi when I get somewhere halfway. Right. And then she was like, okay. So they just showed me which way. And I just took the hotel card just so I remember where
where you came
exactly,
from.
you know.
So you don't get lost.
Exactly. Yeah. Plus there was language barrier there. I hadn't seen any black person since I had been there.
Really?
For
you were the only
2
one?
weeks. Well, no, there were some black people, but where I was, there were no black people that were around where I was.
Wow.
Yeah. Even the whole Great Wall of China, climbing it, there was not even one single other black person. It was just me.
Wow.
Yes, yeah, during the time I was climbing it. Yes, definitely.
Okay.
So I took a walk then. You're not going to believe what happened. So I'm walking, right, and I'm praying. I'm still praying in my heart. I'm like, God, you have to do something. I see this, how do I just see this black guy from a distance? I'm like, no way. Listen, and I'm talking to in my heart, I'm talking, God, please don't let me be the one who has to approach him.
Yeah.
You're not going to believe the guy was like, from a distance. The way the guy hugged me.
And you guys didn't know each other or anything?
We didn't even know each other. The way I have so much respect for West Africans. Oh my God, for Africans.
Where was he from?
He was from Nigeria.
Nigeria, okay.
You know, that guy, he didn't even know what was wrong with me, but he was like, where are you going? And I was like, I'm looking for electronics market. He was like, listen, I'm going to take you there. Did you eat already? He was so hospitable.
So that was the answer of your prayer, basically?
It was an instant, answer. You don't understand. God, it's just been so amazing. When I tell you, imagine what are the odds? You are in China, some place you've never been in your life.
Yeah.
You are broke, basically. And then you bump into someone in a way that you didn't even expect, who's your African brother. So that is why with me, I don't like xenophobia. Oh my God, I dislike xenophobia. I hate xenophobia, if I should just go that far, you know. I hate it so much. Most of the people that really helped me in my life, even during my divorce with my ex-husband, when I told you, he shut every account that I had. You know who helped me? A guy from Uganda. I didn't even know the guy.
Oh, his other African brothers and sisters.
Yes. Okay. I didn't even know the guy. I was just coming out of a hospital. I was traumatized. It was a domestic violence situation that actually ended up my marriage, yeah. And I was coming from the hospital, and I'm sitting in my car, and this Ugandan guy just came to my window and said, here's my card, please call me if you need to talk to me. And I said, who's this guy? I don't want to talk to him. I literally wanted to throw the card out, but I was like, you know what, let me just leave it there. The guy was like, please, you might need my card. You know, when I believe it, I needed his card 2 days later.
Wow. When
my ex-husband started being very, very nasty, getting lawyers for me, and that demanded me to actually respond to his lawyer and get my own lawyer, you know. So during that time, I don't have money, I don't have anything. I was trying to sell my wedding ring to the guy, actually. Wow. And then the guy was like, you know, and the reason I was trying to sell my wedding ring was not only to just pay for lawyers, but also to change all the tires in my car. Yeah, you know when it rains, it pours, right?
Yeah.
So it was the divorce, the tires, everything was just falling apart.
Oh my God.
And the guy, let me tell you something, he said, I will buy your ring on condition that you have lunch with me. He had lunch with me. He gave me my ring back. He said, I don't want your ring. Gave
That's
me
the
the money I
Ugandan guy,
needed.
right?
Pardon?
The guy from Uganda, yeah?
Yeah. And he took me to get my tires done. And let me tell you something, he was there throughout my whole divorce. So when I tell you God places people in your life
for a reason.
for a reason, it is for a reason. Imagine being in China, not knowing anyone, and having someone who's gonna help you in the way the guy helped me. Imagine I didn't even have money to stay for another week.
Yeah.
The guy, you know what he did? After he took me to the electronics market to eat, and he bought me my first iPhone. He bought it for me. He bought me an iPad, and he said to me, you know, an iPod. Is it an iPod? The one for music?
Yeah, iPod.
Yeah, iPod. He bought me, yeah, the iPod. And he said to me, I don't see why you're staying at a hotel. You know, this is China. There's no ways I could even think about doing any harm to you. So I would be arrested with immediate effect. In fact, I would be in more trouble than just be arrested if I were ever to do anything to harm you. So please come stay in my house. I have a big house. You have your own room. I won't even bother you. You're not going to
So
be.
he wasn't
exactly
a
what
tourist. He
happened.
was actually
He
residing
lived,
in China.
yes, he lived in China.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, the business that I ended up doing, he's the one that really taught me. Because remember, like I had people that were already demanding for products. So I told him I have so many people that are looking for products and stuff. It was like, oh, don't worry, I'll take you to all these markets. He took me to every market. He took me to bag markets, shoe markets. He took all these, what's this? These beans are being spilled now by Chinese about their manufacturing company, business and stuff. It's stuff that I've been doing for many years. Yeah, helping small businesses. At some point, eventually, I ended up helping small businesses to find manufacturers, negotiate price and quality for them, make sure they don't get delivered substandard quality. So those are things I really used to do. So I ended up traveling to China like every 3 months. The guy immediately took me to get my business cards done.
Wow.
I'm telling you, and he also allowed me to use his office when I came to China.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was he just doing this as a friend, or was he trying to be with you in a relationship?
Well, men are men, you know. Eventually he did ask me out, but it didn't go there because I learned that he has family in Nigeria. So there was no ways I would want to be with a man who has family, you know. So yeah, so he didn't push me for anything. He just liked my company, just liked my friendship, and I enjoyed his friendship as well. And I'm still appreciative to this day for what it did for me. You know, for me to have so many connections in China, it was due to him and all the manufacturers. I mean, he used to take me directly to manufacturers and showrooms, and they would just welcome me. Any product that I wanted, they would make for me. You know, if I brought any sample, I could take a sample of this to them. They will just make it as it is. You know, yeah.
And that's how you started your business.
That's why I started my business in China. But then things went bad very quickly. Like I think that was 2015. My mom passed. Yeah, my mom died.
Your mom passed in 2015?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm glad that when she died, by the time she died, we had already made peace, you know, with her. We were already good friends by the time. I already understood certain things about her. We were so close by the time she died, and she had found Christ by the time.
Okay.
Yeah, so she had a tragic car accident, and just after that accident, all my brothers went on drugs. I'm talking about heavy drugs. They call it nyaupe in South Africa.
So after your mom died, your brother became drug addict?
Yeah, 3 of them.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they became heavy. Like, you know, the
Is there a reason why, or was it a coincidence?
No, it wasn't a coincidence. It was due to my mom dying. I mean, people take pain differently, you know. And honestly speaking, my mom, I don't know how to say this because it's another relationship. She spoiled my brothers in a way, but also she messed them up. I don't know how to explain, you know. So I think they felt like they can't do life without her in a way. I think they were so dependent on her, and it was so dangerous because I foresaw that, especially with my older brother, how close he was to my mom and how dependent he was. I knew he would not survive if my mom like anything would have to happen to my mom. With me, on the other hand, I was always independent because I always had to be the hustler. I always had to be the breadwinner. I always had to do so much. So I always knew that whatever happens, I always had to hustle for myself. With them, it was different. You know, my mom didn't really encourage them to make success of their lives, but more to help to be there for her.
Okay.
I don't know how if it makes sense.
So it was more a codependent relationship.
It was very
Codependency.
Yes, dependency. Yes, very much like that. Pretty much, yeah.
A toxic one, basically.
Very
based on what you're
toxic.
saying.
Yeah, it was really, really toxic. I mean, like, oh my God, like it was not even a month after my mom passed, but they were already on drugs, on heavy drugs. They were already stealing from our neighbors. You know, the community almost burnt our home at some point because they had stolen so much from everyone that people didn't want them around anymore. They had gone to in and out of prison so many times by that time. You know, if you like, I don't know if now, if you call the police to our address, home address, if they will still come. There was a point where the police would not even come to our address. If there was something happening at home, you better had to give them an address like a couple of houses away from our home because they would not come to our home directly. They were just tired of what was happening there, you know.
Wow.
So that got me so stressed. I mean, it was weighing on me, even though I was not staying at home at that time. But
were you still in China in 2015?
Oh, yes, I was still going in and out of China.
From South Africa
From South Africa, yeah, traveling to China, Hong Kong to China. I was doing that all the time. Like, you know, I was selling a lot of things. I was selling like wigs. I was selling makeup, accessories, cosmetics, at the same time helping small businesses find manufacturers. So yeah, that's basically what I was doing. I had an office as well, in Sandton, where I was consulting with small businesses. So when my mom died, I mean, it affected all of us, you know, especially, I mean, our relationship was getting so close and, you know.
So she died right after you guys were starting getting closer, forgave each other for whatever has happened
Exactly,
in the past.
maybe like about 2 years after that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you know, it was still soon, you know.
So,
but then I was glad that she was there for me through my divorce. Actually, I think I realized my mom's love through my divorce because I was going through the most pain that I could not explain. It was, oh my God, I remember it was so hot. It was December, and I had a blanket around me in the heat. Like in South Africa, it's very hot in December. It's still summer there. Like it's really, really, it's the peak of summer. And I had a blanket over. That's how much pain I was going through, or trauma I was going through, or stress I was going through, you know. For you to have a whole big blanket in the middle of summer, you know. Yeah. So I was really going through it at that time. I had gone through it so many times in my life. Now I laugh about when things happen, you know, I just really laugh. I don't really stress much about it anymore because I know God has me. He's shown me, like, his love for me. Like, I mean, if I can tell you my story about being here and how God covered me, how I've gone through situations where I was unemployed, where I was not making money. I've never been homeless. I've always stayed in my apartment. I've always had food. I've always been around awesome people. You know, I've had my fair share, like being here, of going through the toughest times, but it wasn't even that bad. You know what I mean? Yeah, God always had me. Yeah, so I got here and I just love being here because it opened up so many doors. In South Africa, there's things that I know I would have never thought about doing if I was there.
Really? Such as what?
Such as being this expressive.
Really?
No ways.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, people are very critical. Like, I find our people sometimes
are
they hold us back. Yeah, sometimes when it comes to certain things. I had to unlearn certain things as well.
What was your biggest cultural shock when you got here compared to South Africa?
Oh, wow. Using the restrooms, public restrooms.
Using the restrooms?
Yeah, the public restrooms. Oh my God, I've never thought in my life people could be that filthy.
Oh.
Not in a bad way, but seriously, that was the biggest shock for me, the culture shock.
So in South Africa, the restrooms are clean. And
yeah, typically, like, I mean, you'll find dirty bathrooms, but people are considerate that the next person is going to use the restroom, so they clean it up. So the carefree, like the nonchalant attitude, that's what shocked me when I moved here. That's the truth, honestly speaking. But there was not much because South Africa is very diverse and very westernized, so there was really not much that really shocked me about a lot, It's probably people's attitude and the audacity Americans have, like when it comes to how they speak to you.
Oh yeah.
Very
direct, the direct way. Compared to Africa, where people are more, respectful and refrained from saying stuff.
Exactly. So I remember one time I think I was going to a church and I was getting lost. I had just moved here. I didn't know how to use the Google Maps. And I stopped this lady to ask her like for directions. Oh my God. She just looked at me and waited for me to finish, and she actually held herself like, girl, of all these people, you thought you should ask me for directions? No. You just didn't. Oh my God. Do I look like a GPS? Do I look like a effing GPS to you?
Effing GPS?
I couldn't believe someone spoke to me like that. I was like,
just because you asked for directions?
Yeah, just for directions. And the time that she took saying all that, she could have given me directions and still save the energy. But I couldn't believe, people would go through such lengths.
She could have saved that energy just to say directions.
Like just to give me the directions and still had a good day. No, she just thought she would want to mess my day up, which I didn't allow her to, and mess her day up, obviously. Yeah, but that's the culture shock that I heard. But now
you're used to it.
Yeah, I've seen myself do those things they do now. Like, for real, I'm not joking. Okay, well, now I'm getting healed. But there was a time where someone would say something and I'm like, are you talking to me? Hey, be nice.
Look at you acting like that exact lady.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. It wrapped on me because I think we're human,
Yeah.
And if these things constantly happen, we pick up some things. But I've gotten to a point in my life now. All I want now is peace, and I can easily avoid certain situations now. I can choose not to respond to situations now, and that's maturity. That's growth. You know what I mean? But I'm happy for myself that I've gotten to that point because I never thought I would reach that point. I'm so stubborn by nature. I'm really, really a stubborn person. Oh my God! And all the trauma that I've gone through, I always felt like people were always against me. People were always wanted to get something. Like I don't know. I felt like there was. So I always felt like I needed to defend myself.
So you're always on a defensive mode because of your upbringing, your stepfather, your mother, your divorces, put you in a place where you always want to fight with people.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay. I was at that point. But
how did you heal from that? Because it's really hard to recover from that.
I think I had to choose me. Like, I think there was a time where I had to reflect, think about where I'm going and what it requires for me to achieve that. Okay. And that took me to make certain decisions that if I'm going to be great, which is what I want to be someday, or I want to inspire, especially our young people, there's a certain way I have to walk. There's certain decisions that I have to make. There's, like the attitude, like I will have to choose my battles. Yeah, we need to choose our battles.
Pick your battles.
Pick your battles. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can't be you can be a lover and a fighter, but there's ways that you can fight and still be heard. Yeah, so I think I decided I'll just go with that route because I'm much more beautiful than the things that I was once. Yeah, that I've been through, or I felt like I wanted to engage in. I could have gotten myself in trouble so many times. I've had fights, street fights. Wow. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be that kind of a person, like, at all. That's just not me. Like, I think maybe it was a cry for help. I was going through so much. I wanted to be heard. I wanted to be loved. I think there was a void in me that if you stepped on my toe, I just want to deal with you now.
Right away.
Like, right away. Like,
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to be very like that, like a matcha like that. If you said something about, what should I just say? You know, it was just like that. But I'm so sweet now. I'm so happy.
How's been the healing process?
It's been hard, I won't lie. It's not easy healing because you think, one day you think you've healed, and the next day something triggers
You get triggered and then you see that it's still there.
Yeah. So I think it's a decision that you're going to make intentionally.
Every day.
Every day, yeah, every single day. Make a decision that you will not allow certain characters to get to you. You will not allow yourself to fall in the pit. You will not allow yourself to be offended by, you know. So I decided, you know, I should not take everything so seriously. You know, so some things you just have to laugh at. So I laugh at myself a lot. Oh, you don't have no idea how many times I go home. And I'm like, what were you doing today? Did you just saw the mayor and just went, hey, mayor? like I literally would be doing stuff like, I'm like, what happened to protocol? But I love being myself though, you know?
Yeah.
Seriously, like, I just feel like God has given us all these characteristics for a reason. Like, God gave me this, my character, because He knows it will bring a smile to someone else.
Absolutely.
It will help someone heal. It will help someone realize that you don't have to be perfect. It will, you know, exactly for you to be seen or for you to get where I want to take you. And God has carried me. Like, my life, I'm telling you, is a testament of God's promises. Like, every step of my life, I can tell you, you see God's promise, like, in everything that I've gone through. If I can really honestly, like, break it down to you about what I've really been through, it'll be like, no ways. Thank God we don't look like our problems, you know. Thank God, for real. Like, yeah, I don't know what I would have looked like right now, for real. Yeah.
Wow.
No, for real.
And what would you say to people that are struggling with mental health now, that have been traumatized, that come from toxic families, that don't have good relationship with their parents, with their spouses? Based on your experience, what would you tell them?
Address it. Don't be scared to talk about it, what it is that's eating you inside. Talk to, you'll find someone, like, you'll be surprised. Like, my current read, the book I'm reading right now, it's called Breakthrough, written by Dr. Jennings. When I met Dr. Jennings, I met her through different circumstances, but then I met her again this year during Denim Day, on Denim Day.
Okay.
They had a paint and sip, but it was not like sipping alcohol. It was more getting together with ladies that come from, that have trauma, you know, especially sexual violence. And I had a situation just last year at the State Building where a guy, during prayer, we were praying for our leaders in the community, came and put his hands on my private parts. And I had to call the police. The guy is at Rikers Island. It was just a lot of stuff going on. So I bumped into Dr. Jennings at that event, the Sip and Paint. While we sip and painting, she comes and says hi to me. She says, you remember me, right? And I'm like, yeah, I remember your face, but I can't remember who you are. She says, I'm Dr. Jennings. We met through a friend of yours. And funny enough, I didn't know about her book. I didn't know about her being an author. I just met her, like, she was helping my friend campaign for some political thing that he was doing. And she says, no, we met at through this person. And I'm like, oh, really? I don't know what's said to me. Speak to her about what's eating you up. I spoke to her. I told her, you know, Dr. Jennings, today is Denim Day. And a lot of things were triggered in me because I had a situation that happened at the State Building where I was sexually violated. And today reminded me of what happened to me. And I started crying to her. Like, while I was talking to her, like, there was not intention to go to her and cry, but I cried while I was telling her the story of what happened a year prior, you know. And then she says to me, you know what, you need to come see me in my office and read my book. And she insists, come tomorrow. She takes my number, she texts me, come tomorrow. I go to her office. The next day, she gives me her book. Oh, while we are there, I'm breaking down. trying to tell her, oh my God, you're not going to believe, I want to give up. I'm done with life. I really want to give up. I'm tired. I've been trying. I'm tired. I don't want to try no more. I'm really exhausted. She says to me, no, you're not going to give up now. Here's the book. I want you to go read this book. And then she calls other women to come pray for me. They come in the office, they all pray for me. You're not going to believe that day was my breakthrough.
Wow.
Even if sometimes your breakthrough is not monetary, or you don't see the results with immediate effect, but that was my breakthrough that day, because the book that she gave me changed my life. It has changed other people's lives through me, because I speak about what she went through. In that book, she had been sexually violated by so many people in the family. She's gone through a lot. And here I was thinking my story was too shameful to talk about.
So she gave you the
She
courage.
the courage for me to actually go speak up, to go out and speak up. So that is why it's very important for us as human beings, when we go through the most difficult situations in our life, to give testimony when we get a breakthrough. Because someone listening to me right now, this is their break. This is their breakthrough. To realize, oh, what a beautiful woman, dressed all up, looking like that, but she went through this.
Absolutely.
I don't look like my problems.
Absolutely.
Yes, exactly. And there's a reason why God made it that way, because He wanted me to be able to speak about Him and how great He is. And look at Dr. Jennings. She did the same thing. If it was not for that book, for that prayer that day, do you think I'll be here sitting here and talking to you today? No. I was at the verge of really giving up, because I thought, no, there was no way I can go on. I had no energy. I had no drive.
Wow.
I had no passion, nothing. And I'm talking about 2 months ago.
2 months ago?
I'm not even joking with you. 2 months ago. So my advice to people that are going through the most, they're going through trauma, don't hide it. There's always someone who's going to be willing to listen to you. It might not be someone that's very close to you, a friend, it might not be a family, but there is someone that will listen to you. So don't be shy, to talk about what's bothering you. It's better you talk about what's bothering you than go behind closed doors and commit suicide.
Yep.
Yeah, so definitely never keep
stuff inside
you.
Yeah,
Because
to yourself.
also, like, let me tell you something, the danger of keeping stuff inside you. Like, listen, I've told you about all the trauma that I went through from my childhood. These things I kept and bottled inside up until 3 years ago. You know what happened? I was working on 125th. I bumped into a guy that abused me in a relationship. I had just broken up with him maybe 6 months prior. He sees me looking good. I'm recovering. It's my birthday. It was like literally around my birthday time. And I'm all dressed all white. I'm coming from a branch. I'm just happy. And I bump into the guy. Gugu, hey! I'm like thinking, who's this? It's him. And he says, please, can you stop? I want to talk to you. And he says, please come here. Let me talk to you. And he says to me, oh, I still love you. You look nice, blah, blah, blah. Happy birthday, blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking, how dare you talk to me like that after all those things that you've done to me? So after he says all he said, I said to him, let me ask you something. Did you even ever love me? He says, oh, we're done talking. No, we're done talking. I said, no ways. Let me tell you something. I had a blackout. I had never in my life blacked out. I had a blacked out. I saw stuff flying. I remember the guy actually at some point jumping, and he was on my face. I remember saying, do what you would have normally have done if these people were not here. Do what you did before to me. If these people were not here, do it. Today, this is the day that you're going to stop doing it, and I'm going to do it for all the African women that you played with. Because you used to tell me how much he loves African women and stuff like that, but he misused me, he abused me, he did a lot of things, you know what I mean, to me. So I was angry because I had this anger within me. And on that day, when he approached me, because I hadn't addressed it, I used to just move from a situation and be like, okay, it's fine, let me just move on. I've done that with my parents too. Yes. Yeah. Remember, I did that too. Yeah. When you asked me, like, how did I recover? I just moved on like nothing happened. Yeah. That's what I used to do, and that's exactly what we do as Africans. We like to push things under carpet, move on like it never happened. It's very, very important to address situations, even though you might not address the issue with the perpetrator, but at least address it anyway. Absolutely. Especially nowadays, we have therapy. We have a lot of therapists. We have free help. Okay, well, in America we do have free help. In Africa, I still wish like our people can access these resources, because it's very important to address mental health issues. Like every one of us has gone through a PTSD, especially us as Africans. We go through the most. You know, we go through, like, I actually commend every African that's succeeding today. Like, I don't even know how we get our strength, because Africans, I mean, we are amazing, honestly speaking. We really don't take or regard ourselves as highly as we should. You know, look at how many challenges Africans have in general.
Absolutely, on a daily basis.
On a daily basis, you know, even in this country, when we wake up as an African, you have a lot to think about, more than a person who's a citizen here, who's born here. They don't have the problems that we have. You already think about your family back home. You're already thinking about things that you have to, like, it's a lot, you know. And we're still catching up and going far and beyond, and I love that. So never doubt yourselves. I'll just say that, like, we as Africans are blessed. We are so multi-talented. Like, there's even half of the things that I've seen other nationalities are not even able to do, you know, that I can do as an African. You know, the strength that God has given us, we have a different strength. We have a different energy. Our energy is so different. And what I like about us, we have the natural talent, God-given talent. Have you seen how African children, you put them here and you say, dance?
Yeah.
Enthusiasm, you can't even tell that child didn't
do some
piano
moves.
I love dancing. I love African, like, I'm coming from South Africa.
Yeah,
and you know, my piano, that's our thing. I love it. I mean, I used to promote my piano here a lot. I still do promote them to this day, because I think it's very important for us to represent, especially when we in these global stages, to represent, fashion. Talk about fashion. Look at African fashion. Oh my goodness. We have so many designers like Vicky James from Nigeria. Vicky James is amazing. Oh my God, this woman, very, very extremely talented. We have David Klale, who's extremely talented. We have Amaxhosa. I don't know if you know Amaxhosa. They dressed Michelle Obama.
From South Africa, right?
Yes, they dressed Michelle Obama, and they have their store as well here in New York. You know, right?
Oh wow.
Yeah, they opened up last year. They launched last year. Oh my God, they're amazing. You know, so look at that talent that we have. Look at Netflix. Look how many films, African shows we have there.
Even
that are
BET
great
now.
quality. BET, you know, even though people can be mad at us for winning, we're still black, you know. We have the talent, we deserve it. So, you know, look at Davido. Look at the wedding.
I know.
Did you see?
The dress.
You know what I like about they call themselves Chivito, right?
Chivito, yeah.
Chivito. What I liked about Chivito is the fact that they use African designers.
Yeah, she used her sisters and
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that empowering?
Yeah.
That's exactly what we should be doing for each other. You know, I should be saying, like, we should not look at each other as competition, but look at each other as collaborators.
Absolutely.
As partners.
Absolutely.
You know, that's how we empower ourselves. Look at Dangote.
Yeah.
Dangote has decided to give Nigerians a chance to have shares in his company that is listed in the stock exchange.
Absolutely.
That is very empowering, you know. So I think the more we work together as Africans, the more we have, I think we need to love ourselves more. Like, meaning we have to accept who we are. It took me a long time to accept me for who I am.
Why?
Because I felt ashamed for being loud, for being so opinionated. I felt like I'm not good enough for certain things. I'm too ghetto. You know, it's just no, for real. Like, you know, no, for real. So, and I see that with a lot of Africans, they shy from who they are. They shy from that. They shy away from that. You know, instead of like embracing that. And accepting that this is the energy God gave me. I'm unique. Yeah. You know, you bring a lot of value. Like, we bring a lot of value to the world. Imagine the world without Africans. Our accent. Look, how many languages do we speak? No, there's no country in the world, continent in the world that speaks more languages than Africans. Yeah. Never. Yeah. And the originality of humans originates from Africa too.
Absolutely.
We know that.
Yeah.
So that's how much power we have. That is why we have so much against us. Because we are blessed, you know, and I'm not being biased, it's the truth. Yeah, we are really blessed in so many ways. So I think it's time for us as Africans to realize that we have the talent, trust more in ourselves and what we can deliver, and trust that the world loves who we are and what we are.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
For real.
Wow. The love loves her. Wow.
Yeah.
What would be your last words that you would say to African youth, African people? Words of encouragement based on your experience. What would you tell them? And that would be the last question.
Oh, don't limit yourselves. You know, it's better for me. It's better to be a jack of all trades than to be a master of one or none. So don't limit yourselves. Learn, like whatever opportunity comes your way. I'm not saying every opportunity, but if something doesn't work and you have to change the direction, do that. Adapt. Be able to adapt. You know, like I never thought in my life I would be doing interviews or obtaining a media pass, or I've never had that dream. But I mean, I'm a people's person. I've always loved video recording everywhere I've gone. Like if you go back to 10 years ago, I go to an event, I'm always the one that's just like recording events, doing the most, posting. Why not do it professionally if I can?
Absolutely.
You know, no one is going to stop you from being who you are. So I will encourage our young people to be who they want to be, and also get involved in politics, in diplomacy, in community. That way you are up to date about everything that's happening around you. You are able to be at the on tables where you can say or add
value to the
value
world,
exactly to the platform. You know what I mean? Exactly, and that opens up your horizons as well. So don't limit yourself is what I would say for real, to our young people. Trust more in yourselves and just know that you are guided. Like whatever it is, whoever you believe in, whether it's Allah, it's God, or the universe, you are guided. Just have self-belief. That's it. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me in the show. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming and sharing your amazing story, your beautiful story, and you definitely don't look the way that, like, wow. Everything you've been through, you really do not look that way at all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And keep being that positive, shiny, brilliant spirit that you are.
I will. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I really appreciate you, Christelle.
Yes, thank you for coming.
Okay. Bonsoir.
Chers amis téléspectateurs, merci de nous avoir suivis. Nous nous retrouvons au prochain numéro. Merci.